thank you for Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Hi, I'm Jo from J.H.Leather, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I go from idea to final product. So I like to break this process down into 6 easy steps. So they are the design brief, the initial sketches, pattern making, prototype 1, prototype 2, and then on to the final product. So now we have our steps, I'll break each one of them down for you, starting with the design brief. So this is where we ask ourselves, what does this product need to do? So for example, if you were making a shoulder bag, what do you want to be able to carry in it? Now we know that, we can then work out roughly what the size will need to be. Or if you were making a phone case, what phone do you want to fit in it? Do you want to have any extra features like card pockets? Now you know that what the product needs to do, you can start working on some of the design features. So for a bag, you can ask yourself, what sort of strap would you like? Do you want your bag to have a gusset? What sort of gusset would you like your bag to have? How is the bag going to close? What leather would you like to use on your bag? So once you've answered some of those questions, you'll be able to complete your design brief. So my design brief for the shoulder bag video that I made was quite simple. I wanted to make a shoulder bag that would fit a phone, wallet, keys and a notebook, and I wanted it to have a U-shaped gusset. I was going to make it from veg-tanned leather, and it was going to have a removable shoulder strap. So that's it. Now that you have your initial design brief, you have a good idea of what your product needs to be. So what we can do now is move on to step 2, which is the initial sketches. Now, these don't need to be pretty. I am awful at drawing, but it doesn't matter because all we need to do is get some initial designs down that we can then work on. Once you have some designs down, you can pick your favourite and then start making small refinements until you are happy. And now once you've done that, we can move on to step 3, which is our pattern making. So when we are pattern making, we're going to get a good idea for what our overall product is going to feel like, because we're going to make these patterns full size and we're going to include any attachments that will be on the final product. I will actually make a few different patterns at this stage. The first one I'm going to make is going to be a mock-up of the final product, and I'm going to tape that together with masking tape or some sellotape so I can get a good feel for the proportions of the product. What I will do then is go on and make some more patterns, adding any seam or trim allowances. So one thing that you will need to take into account when you're pattern making is that card will react differently to the leather that you're going to use on your final product. So we just need to be aware of this, and our patterns may need to be changed further down the road to take the leather thickness into account. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes to choose from. There are classes in photography, illustration, web design, video production, marketing, and much, much more. One class that I am finding very helpful is Easy Productivity Tips for Artists by Brooke Glazer. So this is helping me to get organised and keep myself organised. And it's also helping me to stop getting overwhelmed when I have a lot of projects on, and it's helping me manage my procrastination because I do procrastinate a lot. Skillshare is made specifically for learning, meaning that there are no ads and premium classes are being launched all the time, and it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. Best of all, Skillshare are offering the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description a free trial of premium membership, so you too can go and explore all the amazing classes that they have. So step 4 is our first prototype. Now here we're going to take our patterns from step 3 and make a working prototype of our final product. So for this I will use either scrap leather for smaller items, or I will use B grade or a leather split. That's going to be similar to the leather that I want to use on my final product. So by making our prototype, we're going to get a good idea for how our final product is going to look and feel, and we can also make any changes to our patterns or designs if we need to. So step 5 is our second prototype. Now this is an optional step because if your patterns and your design worked out well in the first prototype, you might not need to do a second one. However, if you did make any changes to the pattern or design, it is a good idea to do a second prototype. For my tote bag that you saw in a video on the channel a few months ago, I made 2 prototypes before the final one that you actually saw in the video. I don't have the second prototype here, but I do have the original bag and the final bag that I made in the video. So as you can see, there are a few differences between the original prototype that I made and the final product, with the final product having a lining, pockets, and piping. Now, without making that second prototype, I wouldn't have known if my patterns were going to work or if the design was going to work, and I could have run the risk of wasting a lot of materials and my time. So we can now move on to step 6, which is making our final product. So we're going to take everything that we've learnt from prototype 1 and 2 and have our final patterns ready so we can make our finished product and get that out to our customers. So that is it. I hope that this breakdown of my design process will help you in your next project. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos and tutorials, and I shall see you in the next video.